It's a really exciting day for me. We have made the trip up here to Athol, Massachusetts, so that we can take a tour in the LS Starrett company. Right here behind me, that is the original factory that was built in 1880. And this is where approximately 90% of their tools are still built right here in this factory in Athol, Massachusetts. So really exciting. You guys that have been following me for a long time probably are aware that I love my Starrett tools. I have many of them. Many of them were passed down from my grandfather and my dad that I still use today. And being able to come up here to Athol and tour the Starrett factory plant here is simply amazing. I never thought that I was gonna have this opportunity, and here we are. So they reached out, and we have been discussing this for some time for me to be able to come up here and bring my camera and film where these tools are built. So that is what we're gonna do. We've actually been here, this is gonna be a couple of days, and we've already been here for a day already. So we came here yesterday so that we can meet everybody, meet the staff, meet the folks, and take a walk through the plant so that we could see everything and kind of get a game plan for what we wanted to do for the factory tour. So they have about 500,000 square foot factory space here where they build all of their products and their tools. It's going to be extremely difficult to try to share every bit of that for only one day of filming. So I am going to try my best to focus on a lot of the tools that not only that they're producing right now, but things like micrometers, calipers, indicators, gauges, small tools, and of course the manufacturing involved with those. So there's going to be Swiss machines running, there's going to be some milling machines running, lathe work. They've got a lot of different departments that support different parts of the factory, and we're going to get to go through and see all that, and I'm going to try to share as much of that with you as I can, and I'm super excited to get in there and share that with all of you guys. This is really exciting. So let's go on inside and get this factory tour started, okay? So as soon as you step inside the door at the LS Starrett company, you get to see the beautiful display cases with an example of many of the tools that they make. These are some of the most common machinist tools that they build: indicators, micrometers, rules. We have the punches, lots of different gauges. There's my favorite hook rules right there. Thread pitch gauges, levels, toolmaker's vices. Very good stuff. Right behind it, they got some of their saw blades, hole saws, examples of those tools that they make as well. Place is already incredible. We've only just walked in the door.
Actually, you're in a building that we added on to this side. And then a lot of this expansion, before we moved the saw division, we actually were making saw blades down in the lower part of the building. So we were a one-stop shop here for many years.
That was my granddad's mic. He used it until he retired, and my dad used it, and then I started using it because I started working with my dad. I still use it today. It's still, you know, I use it against the standard, and it still measures good.
That's the problem. Nobody stuff lasts forever, for crying out loud. But to do that, so that's great.
The knurling's all, you know, smoothed off on it.
I know that.
It just means a lot to me, and I thought that y'all might find it interesting to see these tools right here.
Oh,
were made in Athol. This is the same.
This is a
701?
700.
700, yeah.
Tim, when we get
All right, so I have Tim with me. He is going to be our tour guide today, our host for the Starrett plant, and we're going to go ahead and kick this off. You want to tell them just real briefly who you are and your role here, and where we're starting and what we're going to see today.
Absolutely, Adam. It's great to spend time with you yesterday and looking forward to today. Great company. I love the enthusiasm. Tim Cucci here. continuous improvement manager for the assembly at the Starrett Company, residing here in Athol, Mass. Headquarters, where it was founded in 1880 by Leroy S. Starrett. And been at Starrett going on 28 years, and looking forward to diving into American manufacturing right here in Athol, Massachusetts with A-Bomb.
Yeah, we're excited about it. This is such a great place to see in person. Excited to share it with you guys, and let's kick it off, man. Let's get going.
That's great.
So where are we going to start at?
So yeah, start with our special gauge division, which is almost like a little Starrett within Starrett here. So special gauge is really special applications. We do a lot of work here, government work for GE, Pratt & Whitney in the aero industry. So this is a lot of special high-end metrology, handheld gauging is what we're going to see here. We'll see some light manufacturing and as well as some assembly of the gauging.
Very cool. I'm excited to see it, man.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Let's get into it.
Hey, one thing I want to point out real quick.
Yes, sir.
They noticed that I took a lot of interest in lots of Starrett vices. You're going to see these all throughout the plant.
But as Adam said, you will see those throughout the shop. We use our own tools when we make our tools.
That's right.
And you also see the Starrett granite everywhere, the classic pink granite that we are known for.
Yep.
Everywhere. Like I said, special gauge is almost like a Starrett within a Starrett, although the main factory does help in the production for some things. Like they'll build the indicators out in the main factory production area, then they come back up here to special gauge, and as you can see, it's in some sort of special gauge with a master. A lot of this is, like I said, for government work, medical, and high-end metrology with handheld gauging. And the point here is you know, if there's a special application that's needed in one of our precision tools in our catalog or on our online presence on our website, if you don't see a tool there that will accomplish what you need to measure, our special gauge and or special order in the factory, we'll design it for you, we'll quote it up, and we'll go ahead and manufacture it, build it, inspect it, and get it out to you to accomplish the specific need that you need.
So your customers can come up with pretty much any kind of special tool that they might need for anything. You guys are going to help them to develop and build that tool.
We'll work hand in hand with you and decipher it, and we'll design it, proof the concept, and go ahead and build it for you.
Very cool.
So now we're just coming into the special gauging, more of the machining area. And you'll see your classic hardage, some bridge ports, some surface grinding, you know, all the equipment that's needed to do some light machining up here.
They have a lot of these beautiful hardened lathes all throughout the plant. We'll get to see some more of those. They have a lot of bridge ports here. This one being a CNC, but they have a lot of manual ones as well. It looks like a newer track machine tool CNC mill that they're using. And we will get to see a lot of vintage machines in here too.
Yep, I believe this is newer for us in the past 2 years, this Okamoto surface grinder.
Granite plates all throughout the factory.
All right, so yeah, so leaving special gauge, we're gonna go ahead and go into our tool room. Our tool room is made up of our tool makers here that go through a 4-year apprenticeship course where they spend time in every department, learn the ins and outs of tool making, graduate from that, and then they end up in our tool room, where our tool room is really supporting our factory with maintaining fixturing, manufacturing or building fixturing, keeping our reamers, our cutters sharp, any and everything to support the factory, make up tooling if we need special tooling. Say we develop a new assembly process, now we need new tooling to accomplish that. Well, our drafting department right below us will go ahead and draft that up. Our tool makers will go ahead and make that for us. So support function for the factory.
So you guys are going to love this in here. All of you manual guys, there's a lot of manual machines in here and some CNC. There's some modern stuff. Got several of the hardened lathes in here still in operation, being used. There was a machinist here yesterday that was making some parts right here. Another Athol vise. You're going to see them everywhere in here.
And then over on the left is where we maintain all of our punch and die sets, you know, from our punch press department. You know, we punch out a lot of our parts, and the punch needs to be the size and sharp.
So these guys will rework them here.
They'll maintain them and
okay.
Make sure we're punching out good parts.
Cool. Walk down here and give you guys a shot of the machinery. Lots of bridge ports. Got the surface grinder going on over there. Some of you guys might like this guy, one of the small hard-edge horizontal mills. Throughout the factory, you're going to see a lot of workstations along the windows, and wait till you guys see the workstations along next to the river. It is just such a beautiful view. And let's take a walk down here to see some of the more manual machines. They have some Van Normans. I believe this one may be a Van Norman. It is. Walk over here, Monarch lathes. So this one right here was built in 1957. They still got the lantern tool post set up and being used on that lathe.
That's a monster.
So Pratt & Whitney lathe. But I believe we step over here, there's some more Monarchs. And then this one's another Pratt & Whitney right here. Beautiful condition. And then even some CNC. Got a couple CNC mills over here. There's another Van Norman. And it just keeps going. You got surface grinders back there, more mills. You can see the surface grinders running. Looks like he might be sharpening a cutter over here. No, he's actually, it looks like he's working on a spline. Cincinnati Toolroom grinders.
So we have 3-wire EDMs here. Wires brass. Just go ahead and cut through, you know, hard material for us, profile out, you know, carbide, so on and so forth. So we are fully integrated here at Starrett. We have all the equipment to handle our own needs here. So we can manufacture the parts and turn them into a finished good, meaning a highly accurate, American-made precision hand tool.
There you go. I love the diversity of the very, very old classic manual machines to some of the late model CNCs, wire EDM, late model laser machines. You got it all here.
We're walking into thread grinding right now, which is Drake thread grinders. For all of our micrometer spindles, the majority of them having a 40 pitch thread. Obviously that gives you a 25 thousandths revolution. So we're going to go ahead and single point that thread. Spindle's going to sit on some centers, rotate, and single point wheel will go ahead and traverse across, creating that thread. We'll go ahead and inspect it for any taper in the thread, and we'll go ahead and inspect it for lead accuracy.
Now, will this be the spindles that is used in most all of your
all of our
micrometers?
Yep. This is strictly for micrometers, spindles.
All right.
So what you have here is a spindle blank. It's already been screw machined out, been heat treated. 52-100 steel with a heat treat, 62 to 63 Rockwell on the C scale. Then it's been centerless ground to the final dimensions. We're gonna go ahead and put some threads on it right here. They would go ahead and be your finished product with that 40 pitch thread.
All right. Put
it right into here. Carbide points right here. We're looking for the pitch diameter and any taper there.
Okay, yeah, what was the division that you're reading right there with the 5? Is that 5/10?
Okay, that's 5/10.
5/10, okay. And that's measuring the diameter?
Yep.
Okay.
Diameter and taper.
Okay.
Check on it.
Wow. Here's some of your finished spindles right here. The thread grinding anyway. We'll just take a little walk through. So it looks like he's running 2 of the grinders right now. Drake Manufacturing, Warren, Ohio. These are all Drake grinders here. They've got a lot of them. I believe this is a QC room over here, right? This was a QC room, and then this is one of the things I was talking about. So look at this side of the plant. We're gonna walk right over here, get a cool view of the river out here.
So now we're going to be walking into our micrometer assembly department here, where we have approximately 350 to 370 different types of micrometers that are produced right here in Athol, Massachusetts. So what we have here is Mr. Petray is building some depth gauges. This is our 445D base, 6-inch length of base, 12-inch rod. Is this a 12-inch rod? 12-inch rod. So you get a 0 to 12-inch measuring range here. And as you can see, the depth gauge has already been assembled. So what Jake's doing now is he's just adjusting each rod to the specific tool.
Okay.
So
got it.
once the rod is adjusted to a specific tool, it cannot leave that tool, or the accuracy measurement will not be there.
Okay. So we're just kind of giving you guys a little bit more shot of the micrometer building area, right?
We're undergoing a whole redesign of our micrometer department, assembly department. So you're going to see a lot of open spaces, a lot of lathes, a lot of air and stuff just hanging around. It's because this department is going through a redesign. And when we get to the end of the department, you'll see 2 first cells that we do have set up, and we'll mimic it.
I'm just going to peek here. You got some more of these hardened lathes here that they use. Another set of the drill presses. You can see some of the larger micrometer bodies right here that's getting ready to be built, put together.
So what we have here is our inside micrometers. We have our catalog 124, very popular inside mic. And what Josh is doing here is the tool has already been built. The micrometer head has already been built. Similar to the micrometer we've already seen, the 436. And then we're gonna have all these rods right here that will go individually to that inside mic. And what Josh is doing, he's adjusting the rods to each tool, similar to the depth gauge process we just saw.
Okay. So that was one rod complete, and you'll just do the same for all the other.
Just go one size at a time.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Awesome. That is my favorite inside micrometer to use. Is that guy right there?
Thank you. Do it. I just want to make sure it works.
Good stuff. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Where we're walking into now is our large micrometers, our multi-anvil, catalog 224 or the 714.1 electronic version, where you can interchange the anvils to get different ranges, or a large tubular mic. So let's go take a look at Mr. Rocky. And it looks like he has some of them already in process here. So once again, you're seeing Starrett craftsmanship at its finest. All done here in Athol, Massachusetts, United States of America. Tubular mics, I believe Starrett is the only American manufacturer of tubular mics since S&T went out of business up in Minnesota in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Lightweight, obviously I'm not the biggest guy, but you know, this is lightweight. It still will hold a 10th accuracy, day in, night out.
Absolutely. .36" right here. That's a big boy.
And we do special order micrometers of these tubulars too. If you need something different type of anvil, spindle, configuration, whatever, put it on a napkin, we'll figure it out and make it for you.
And if you need a different size range, you know, offer in the catalog.
Yep, we'll go ahead and manufacture that as well.
I noticed some bigger ones right here. Looks like they're staged up, ready to build too.
Yes, sir. So here at Starrett, we are definitely investing in the future here. So what we got right here is redesigning a couple micrometer cells. That first portion is a new depth gauge cell, lean concept. You know, a U, a circle, start, finish, nothing linear. And actually right in this area is going to be our 436. And right now we have our 1-inch, our 2 to 6, and our 7 to 24-inch range in 3 different areas. I'm combining them into one area, so we'll do 1 through 24-inch, all right here. Streamlining the process, shortening the floor space as well. Trying to make a better environment for the employee. So that's what we got going here. You can see everything is blue, opposed to what you have saw where everything was all wood and benches, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yep, so now we're going to be walking into our micrometer machining area where they do a lot of final polish on the frames, some grinding. He's got some grinding over there, some fabrication of our tubular mics. Which let's go take a look at that.
Okay. Got a Kearney and Trucker vertical milling machine there. Oh yeah, check that out. That big micrometer that they built. Let's just take a walk through and see some of the old machines, man. This is some good stuff. Got another one of the horizontal mills over here. I believe that's the Kearney and Trucker. Yep, that's the same mill that we saw up in the milling department. Another beautiful Starrett vise. There's a lot of them, aren't there?
A lot.
Every department has quite a few of the Starrett vices. A lot of different areas and machines here and processes that's being used for machining of the micrometers. Lots of workstations here. Specific applications set up on the machines, just like this guy right here.
So what this gentleman is doing right here is centerless polishing our catalog 124 rods.
That's for the inside micrometers.
Yep. So all of our inside mics are stamped with the range of the tool. I believe that says 8 to 9 if my eyes are correct. And yeah, so he's just doing a centerless polish. Once again, Starrett is not only accuracy, but cosmetics for all quality control. So right now we're going to enter our laser marking area for our outside and inside micrometer shells and barrels. Climate controlled room, the lasers, the lenses, and everything require that. And as you can see, not only are we laser marking, but we have some universal cobots, collaborative robots here. We've had these up and running for maybe about 3 years right now. And what the arm will do is actually pick up a shell, go ahead and load it, and then it will automatically laser mark. So basically just a load and unload here.
Got a couple of stations here where they're doing that. So the like the outside shells of all the micrometers that have the graduations on there, going to get loaded up in here and laser marked.
Yep, we will start with a blank. As you see, there's no logo or graduations or numerals.
Yep. There we go.
And that's for our catalog 460 micrometer head.
Yep.
1/4 inch travel.
So they're not running it right now, but we did get to preview this yesterday. It'll get put onto that mandrel there in that chuck, and it just rotates it and puts the mark on it. This machine right here is laser etching the markings on the outside shell for all of the micrometers. You can see they'll go through and have a little polishing after this to clean it up. But they've automated it with the robot arm here to load and unload. And they've got 2 cells right here, 2 machines it looks like they're using. All loosen up, looks like it pushes it all the way on there.
Little magnetized too.
Oh, okay.
To keep it in spot. And this shell will actually end up on the 36, 7 to 24 train.
So where we're walking now into is another climate controlled area where we do some final electronic assembly. So the micrometers have already been mechanically assembled out in the micrometer department. They've been mechanically inspected for accuracy and cosmetics. Now they're going to come in here to get the final, what we call as a bezel, the electronic package put into it. And these are what these 2 young ladies are doing right here. These are some of the special micrometer heads that we saw with that 2-to-1 reading.
Right, yep.
So the mechanical's been built, it's been inspected, but obviously there's no electronic guts here. And
That's what they're going to
that's
be
what we're
doing?
doing right there.
Okay, yep. These are already been put together here, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is the special application department, and then what they're showing me right here, this is a special tool that they build for a customer, you know, blade mic, I believe 1 to 2 inch blade mic, but it's got your electronic digital readout right here that's even wireless. So you can send the measurements, you can push a button and send this via Bluetooth to your phone or your computer or whatever it is that you're wanting to capture your readings in. But a special tool that they build right here in Athol, Massachusetts. All right, there's this guy, that's pretty cool. They've also got this, these are some more special tools that they're building for a customer that is definitely a special application in how this mic actually reads. It's what's interesting about this is that it still has the 40 threads per inch for the spindle, but each revolution it actually measures 50 thousandths, where most of the mics that you use, it's used to read in 25 thousandths per revolution, which this one reads 50. But anyway, just a special tool that they're building for a customer that requested this exact application. So they will build any tool that you need. Whatever application you got, they'll come up with a tool for it.
So now we're walking into our surface grinding department. Obviously a lot of our material is going to be ground to a certain thickness. Obviously there's other types of, not just the thickness, but you know, if we have a dovetail that needs to be ground, you know, like on our vernier bars, that's how they slide. That angle, we'll go ahead and get ground up here. There's a lot of surface grinding up here. And one room we will take you into is our straightening room. All of our scales, they need to be straight and flat before we go ahead and finish the manufacturing process, especially when it comes to laser marking. Your scale is not flat, or it's got a bow, what we call an edge bow to it, so that can be an accurate engraving, and therefore won't be an accurate scale for you to use. So in the straightening room, it's really a dark room where we look for light behind the scale, and that will tell us if it's flat.
So this is the straightening department for the scales, right?
What Mike is doing, he's looking right here for any light, make sure that's flat. And he'll use a roll straightener. So right there's that roll straightener.
There you go.
Now he's looking for edge bow. We'll go ahead and put it back up on the anvil, look for the length behind it. And make any adjustments he needs. When you become a craftsman like Mike is at this, he knows how much pressure to put on it when he's straightening on those rolls, you know, so where he can just tweak it in here and there without having to chase it. And that just comes with time on the job. So even something that's straightening is a craftsman's job.
Got some more surface grinding going on over here. What are these guys doing here?
Yeah, so what we got going on over here, Adam, is our scales. The graduations have already been put onto it. And what we're doing over here is called end grind. So they're actually grinding the end of a scale to make it exactly 1 inch. That way you know your scale is accurate.
Can we get in there closer and see that?
Yes, we
can. So end grinding of the scales. And this is your quality control inspection right here, right? Where you actually measure the scale.
So right here we have a scale right here, and you can see there's some cutoff burrs here too. And how do we know that to there is exactly 1 inch?
Right.
We know. So that's what this gentleman is doing right here. You're gonna go ahead and put it right there, and there's a little fixture that will grab right onto one of the grads to how he has it set up for location. Grinding wheel will come in, move back and forth, traverse, and grind that to 1 inch. And what we have here is a hook rule to make sure that is 1 inch. That is a Starrett Master, that's why we have it gold. So he's looking to make sure the grads line up exactly at 1 inch. And then we can also use this too to measure for the full length as well.
Starrett makes the best scales, the best rules you can get. And they've got a great department here all throughout that make the rules from small ones up to whatever.
Yeah, it's amazing how many processes or what it takes to make even a 6-inch scale.
Yeah, and that's something that we're going to highlight too, is on some of these parts, how many departments one little piece actually has to go through and end up being a finished product for Starrett.
Yep, some will travel, like from there, that scale will go ahead and go to sandblast, and then a chrome plate, and then a fill mark, and then inspection.
Yeah.
Then it has to go to packing, and then out the door.
I think we're going to get to see most of that.
We will.
In today's tour.
We will.
A lot of the classic cabinets and workbenches everywhere throughout the factory.
Right over here, Mr. Hubbard has here, which he's going to be grinding, is some 1025. These are going to be a little pocket vernier caliper.
Okay.
We'll be just doing some grinding on that right here.
Check these guys out. So we're in the surface grinding department right here. You take a look at one of their V blocks. that they're working on, that they're grinding. So this one is the Starrett, let's see, number 568 V block. And so that's what he's setting up over here doing. Is he grind? It looks like he may be grinding the V.
Yep, go take a look.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep, so that's exactly, it looks like what Chris is doing here. Yeah, you can still see, he's marked it right here, so you can still see, you know, where he's got to clean up. You know, basic grinding 101.
Yep.
And right behind you, Adam, is he's set up on some 200 thousandths thickness gauge that he's going to go ahead and grind down to the 200 thousandths.
That will go in the feeler gauge gauge kit.
Yep,
Yeah.
you can either buy it singular or you can buy it in a set. And so that's been milled, that's been heat treated. So we're going to grind the thickness down, and from there we'll go to an etching process where we're going to etch the size and the Starrett brand on it.
Okay. Using one of the Starrett. This is like the depth mic.
Yeah, it's catalog 220 micrometer, multi-amble, which you can also use as a depth mic as well.
That's what I couldn't remember that right off, but yeah, it's the multi-anvil bite.
Yep. So you have a foot here, right, where you'd have a flat anvil or a cylindrical anvil, or you take that foot off with those anvils and yeah, just use it as a depth mic.
Yep. Very cool. All right, we'll keep it moving. We have a lot of stuff to see. All right, so these are pre-grind right here, right?
Yep, so those just came back from heat treat, obviously for the discoloration, so we know they're hard. Now we're gonna go ahead and grind the sides and the edges.
Okay. So how many of you guys recognize this tool? You all have a thread gauge like this in your toolbox, don't lie. This is the C391. Sorry, I was trying to remember exactly which one it was, but thread gauge, very handy tool. And this machine right here is laser etching all the markings on this guy, on both sides. Good tool to have in your box, so make sure you have one of these.
We are right outside of our grinding area, and we have a little inspection area to streamline it. Lean concept, cell concept. I'm sure we're all familiar with that. Once again, we had our Starrett granite that came from Minnesota. And you can come on the other side, which you put it up against these rails to check for any deviation, flatness, or any edge bow, which should have been taken care of in that straightening area that we just saw. And what you can see here is this tool can be accurate, but if there's a scratch on it, we will not send it out. So Starrett is not only accuracy, but cosmetics go hand in hand with the Starrett brand. So what we do have here is a scratch. We will actually go ahead and send this back over to our plating department that will strip the chrome plate off of it, and the black ink that's been filled. We will go ahead and re-sandblast it, re-chrome plate it, and refill mark it, and hopefully be careful not to put any scratches on it.
Yeah, when we were walking through yesterday getting our initial tour, we came by and I noticed this and saw the red marks, and I had asked. So yeah, they found a scratch and circled that. But even so down here, see the red mark here, can you point out what was going on?
Yep, so this rule right here, or scale, is a laser marked process here. But you can see along this whole area from the red underneath that the laser mark did not reach the edge of the scale. So though this may be accurate, the 64ths and everything may be accurate, visually that's not appealing, so we go ahead and reject it for that.
Yeah, so part of your quality control right there for the new rules.
Right here we're going to walk into our assembly area of our dial slide calipers, as most of you would know those as the Starrett Catalog 120. So we just have some little final polishing that happens over here. Actually looks like Lori's gonna deburr and polish a rack right there that's gonna sit on the inside. Little blue fiber belt here.
Putting a polish on it?
And any burrs that might be on it, or any. Yep, so right here, Debbie is grinding the ID jaws. So they come right to a point and they're flush, and I'll let Debbie take it from there.
Just
Right
by
on.
cleaning up that edge, we brought it right in.
Right. Getting the-
Craftsmanship at its finest.
Yep. The number 120 dial caliper made right here in Athol, Massachusetts.
I'm not gonna be on TV, am I?
You might be.
No.
Oh yeah. You're gonna be great. They're gonna love you.
I'll take care of you.
That one's unfinished. Here's a assembled and finished number 120.
So right now we're going to be walking into our dial slide caliper machining area. Here you're going to see some CNC machines that are going to go ahead and drill some holes in like the rack that we saw on the assembly, the internal assembly of the 120. You're going to see some surface grinding, a creep feed grind, and actually right over here is another Drake. I believe this is another Drake with a FANUC control. This is actually going to grind in the teeth in the rack, so similar to the thread grind we saw on spindles. And one thing we will like to show you is grinding and polishing of the jaws on the Catalog 120.
Yeah. That's going to be a great process to share.
Starts off, see how the pattern is. The lines are all going that way.
Yep.
Hence the reason why we lap it to change the pattern altogether.
Okay.
So you can see the jaws has the pattern that you're looking for. And then afterwards, I do what's known as the paper test to really make sure that all debris is cleaned out there. Hold it up to the line. And sure enough, no line. And that is how the job is done.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Job well done.